Hello everybody, and welcome back to Self Acre Homestead, where the grass is greener, because I have a whole pile of juvenile chickens fertilizing it over in tractors. But anyway, my plan today, guys, I picked up this dog run, fairly cheap on Marketplace, but I do have to do a little bit of work to it. As you can see here, I've got a few areas of this fence that are a little weak. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a moment while the airplane flies over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take zip ties to tighten all this up and keep it so the chickens won't get out, for one thing, and nothing gets in. So this is going to be a little graduation area that I'm going to make for these chickens until they get into the main coops later on, when we start to thin that flock out. Then down the road, this will be an area that Cindy's chickens will go. The weird chickens.
They're chickens.
The weird chickens. So Cindy has a few chickens, which we're going to introduce to you guys eventually. Right now they're in a breeder in the house, but that's where they will eventually stay, in their own little protected area with their own little coop. But for now, I'm going to use it for the intermediate teenager layer hens that we have kicking around our yard. I might have to loosen it first. Even if you get more toward the front, you can drag the back, right? But All right, guys, I know we didn't do a lot of talking so far, but hey, just had to get this in place. So what you're looking at right now is we took this old dog run that we purchased off Marketplace. You know, I thought it was a steal of a deal because all that fence and that huge doghouse. I'm going to show you something interesting about that doghouse in a second. For 150 bucks. I didn't even try to haggle with the guy. I thought it's worth my money. I can use it. Cindy and I were talking. We're going to put the hens in here. We're going to keep the roosters in the tractor because they will eventually go in the freezer, but the hens will eventually be integrated into the flock. So we'll give them the nice run to be in. Over here, what we did is we opened up the pen that we use for the goats. This is just a spot that we bring them out once in a while. We let the grass grow in there and we bring them in and let them eat it down. That's the only real purpose for it. But we opened it up so because we have that fence in behind. The playground fence is 50 feet long, and then we have that garden fence, which is just a goat sheep fence along the side of the garden here. Max, as you know, has a run just inside, and this way he can keep an eye on the chickens and the goats if they're a goat or goats if they happen to be in here. Max grew up with goats, as you guys might remember if you watched our really early videos. He's just such a big dog that we felt bad for the goats because he was a little overwhelming for them because of his size. But anyway, he likes to have their company, and it gives us a sense of protection. I do like having the chain link because it's pretty strong. The only thing is something could still dig underneath, but with him there, I don't think anything's coming around. What I still have to do before we put the chickens in and get everything set up is I need to get some T-posts because the way I extended the fences, they are a little flimsy. So we're gonna hook them together as far as the new fence to the existing chain link where the play yard is, and the two different pens. We're gonna hook them all together. That'll give them some structure. But the length, this one here, for instance, is 8, 16, 24, 30, 36 feet long. And there's nothing really supporting it. So I'm going to get a couple T-posts, put them in the ground, one over here, put in the ground, and that way if something pushes up against it, it's not going to fall over. Let me show you this doghouse, or what is now a coop. So what I thought was kind of neat about this thing, it's very large as you can see, but the roof is hinged, so it gives you access. So that was my thought. It's like I can easily clean this. So my plan is to get a piece of linoleum or a plastic, put it on the bottom so the floor doesn't rot, and I'll put a couple little perches in here, and we'll see how they like it. But I thought it was a neat little thing that made it more useful. So. Makes it very heavy. That's why I was using the tractor to move it. All right, guys, so I'm going to come back in a bit. I have to get those T-posts before I can finish anything else. All right, guys, I'm just putting the T-posts in. I'm putting them on the inside of the pens. I'm using the leftover corner clamp to attach them to the T-posts. And the reason I'm putting them on the inside of the pen is I don't want to have to cut around them with the lawnmower. So this way the birds and the goats, whatever, will just eat around them anyway, and I don't have to worry about that. So just 2 more to put in, and that's it. I was in a Amazon return store 2 days ago, and I happened to find a post pounder. Actually, Cindy happened to find a post pounder for $3. Couldn't go wrong. $2. Yes, $2. Sorry, $2. Using a sledgehammer, a lot easier on the arm. Well, let's go this way. It's not so far. That one's pretty. It's just.
I know it is pretty.
I mean, we could keep it. You seem to be happy with the grass. All right, guys. This took way longer than we thought it would, but well, way longer than I thought it would. Cindy knew I was in for a long afternoon. So what we did is we took all of our hens, our barred rock hens, at least what we think are hens. We put them in here, and we took our American breast chickens. We only have a couple, like a handful. We got a couple of roosters, a couple of hens. We're gonna grow that next year. And see how we feel about those guys. But this is a nice big area for them, and eventually the barred rock hens will go in the other coops. But what we want to do is we want to get rid of some of the older hens, make room for them. So before they go in there, eventually, we're gonna make sure we tag them with the leg bands, so we know which ones are which. And we left all roosters in that tractor. So we might keep one or two of the barred rock roosters out yet, just as a backup in case something happens to Rusty, Roscoe, Joe, Bob. Too many names around here. In case something happens to our barred rock rooster, we want to have a backup, because we did experience that this year where we lost one early in the year. Just we have no idea why, but since we know it can happen, we want to have a backup in place. That's it for today, guys. We're tired. It's still pretty warm out. Not nearly as warm as it has been, but it still feels very warm. Thumbs up, please. Subscribe, follow along.